Control global warming. If we want to have a secure future, we need to control global warming. Around the world, we see an increase in extreme weather patterns, such as more intense hurricanes and tornadoes. As a result, many people are looking for solutions, and there are many ways to contribute towards controlling global warming. In this blog post, we will look at some of the most effective ways you can mitigate the effects of global warming. Control global warming can by recycle and reuse. Global warming is a significant issue and can be controlled by recycling. The most important thing to do when disposing of trash, cans, or other waste items that hold the potential for further use, is disposal with care in an environmentally friendly way, such as through reuse or recycling programs. Global climate change has been one of the hottest topics on people's lips this year or any time during recent history. It seems like everyone who wants their voice heard jumps at every chance they get to rant about how global warming will eventually destroy all life on Earth as we know it, unless drastic measures are taken. But what if there were some things you could personally start doing today? Simple steps such as making sure your garbage bags are closed tightly after dumping them out. Recycling not only reduces environmental hazards from happening but also saves money on expensive trash removal services, as well as produces green energy alternatives like solar power through recycled content too. Control global warming. Control global warming by education. Some people claim that global warming is something they can't do anything about. However, they fail to realize the power of education. We have a responsibility as humans to educate ourselves on how our planet works and what we need in order for it not only to survive but thrive post-global warming. Other animals will thank us too when their habitats are still here with them because of this effort. So if you want your future children, grandchildren, or kids down the street from you to grow up without learning all these necessary lessons, then please don't make an effort to educate yourself right now. Control global warming. Control global warming by controlling the population. As the world population increases, so does natural resource depletion and pollution. Decreasing global warming can be achieved by decreasing our carbon emissions and having fewer children to limit overpopulation. Suppose we want a better tomorrow for our children. In that case, it's essential that each of us takes responsibility for limiting reproduction so as not to create more humans who will consume natural resources and contribute towards climate change through fossil fuel emissions, which are an obvious consequence of increased industrialization in developing countries like India or China. Control global warming. Control global warming by avoiding plastic bags. The only way to save the Earth from global warming is by refusing to use any form of plastic. Plastic bags are a massive contributor due to their low production and recycling rates. It's essential that we stop using them altogether. The best thing about this generation is how conscious they have become in an effort to save our planet. One big step towards fixing climate change would be avoiding all forms of plastics, including those pesky minor grocery store carriers known as plastic bags. The thought process behind making these changes seems simple enough. If you don't produce or buy things made out of plastic, then there won't be excess waste being produced on such large scales anymore, because fewer people will start producing more goods than can actually end up getting recycled properly. It is essential to reduce your carbon footprint by avoiding plastic bags. The use of plastics in landfills contributes significantly to the accumulation and release into our environment, notably through leaching toxins that are harmful to humans as well as animals that rely on food chains from landfill. Control global warming by the reduction of smoke. Global warming is a huge problem, but we can help to reduce the effects by reducing the amount of smoke out there. The solution to global warming is simple. We need to minimize the number of cigarettes being smoked in order for it not to affect our environment so severely. One of the many ways to fight against global warming is by reducing smoke. It has been proven that a significant amount of greenhouse gases come from burning biomass. It's essential for us to take this into consideration when we have our family barbecues on Sundays. Control global warming by using eco-friendly products. Global warming could be prevented if we all start using eco-friendly products like recycled paper, organic cotton clothes, and more. Global warming is a significant issue that has been debated for years. There are many factors contributing to global warming, but some people wish there were an easy solution like using eco-friendly products or lowering the temperature of your home. These ideas might not be enough because they don't address other causes such as deforestation and animal farming. Even if we did reduce our carbon emissions by 50%, it would still take 1,128 days before Earth's climate stabilizes again. The only way to really solve this problem is with drastic changes in lifestyle habits, lower consumption rates, conserving energy at work/home, reducing car use, recycling paper goods instead of throwing them out in landfills which release methane gas into the atmosphere, which contributes hugely, and start using eco-friendly products. Control global warming by planting trees. The trees in our backyards can help control global warming. They filter the air, reduce heating and cooling costs for homes, and increase property values of nearby houses by about $700 per home, according to a study done last year among homeowners on their land value near forests or wetlands. The trees around your house are doing more than just beautifying it. They're also helping you save money. Recent research has shown that planting even one tree outside will have immediate benefits such as reducing energy bills from ACs because the shade provided reduces heat buildup inside, increasing aesthetic appeal through aesthetics like leafy greens at all times of day, adding an extra layer of protection against natural disasters due to sheltering effects. If we are going to stop the rise of global temperatures, planting trees is an excellent way for us to do so. Planting more trees will create shade which cools areas and prevents heat from being trapped in cities. Trees also absorb atmospheric carbon dioxide by turning it into oxygen during the leaves' photosynthesis process. This helps reduce greenhouse emissions that trap heat on the Earth's surface. Control global warming by reducing trips. The best way to control global warming is by reducing trips. That's because people in the country produce more carbon dioxide on average per day than those who live abroad. As the way we live our lives continue to change, so it impacts on climate. One of these effects is global warming, aka increased temperatures. Scientists are constantly seeking new ways in which humans can combat this effect by finding more sustainable sources for energy and other natural resources that could lessen their impact. One such solution might be encouraging people to take public transportation instead of driving alone as much or using cars with smaller engines like electric vehicles or hybrids when possible. This will help reduce trips where emissions may occur, which would lower carbon production and thus limit a person's direct contribution towards global warming while also reducing air pollution associated with those gases being released into the atmosphere. Control global warming managing the waste materials of industries. Waste management is a critical element in combating the effects of global warming. For example, companies that manufacture synthetic products should be required to dispose of their byproducts responsibly and recycle them whenever possible. This reduces the amount of harmful biodegradable waste entering landfills, which can release toxic gases into our atmosphere when they are buried under other trash for thousands or millions of years at a time without any oxygen present, a process called anaerobic decomposition. Managing industrial wastes properly will help mitigate climate change because it decreases greenhouse gas emissions from landfill sites where organic materials decay anaerobically, producing dangerous toxins like methane-rich leachates as well as hazardous air pollutants such as sulfur dioxide, nitrogen oxides, and volatile organic compounds. This ultimately results. Control global warming by adequately cutting meat. Recently, many people have been concerned with the issue of global warming. To help combat this problem, it is essential to take care of one's diet by cutting back on meat consumption and opting for more plant-based foods that are good sources of protein instead. Global warming, can you control it with your diet? It has become a hot topic these days. How do we save our planet from artificial disasters such as climate change or pollution? There may be no easy answer, but an article published online claims there might be something you can control. You're willing to put forth some effort. That thing would happen to involve your food choices. The internet publication argues if everyone went vegetarian, they could reduce their carbon footprint up. Control global warming by regular transport checkup. You can help to stop global warming by getting your vehicle checked out. Vehicle checkups are a great way to make sure that you do not leave any carbon emissions behind when driving around town, and they will also ensure the safety of. It is a well-known fact that global warming continues to be an ongoing problem. However, it can actually be minimized by simply taking regular visits for your car's transport checkup. In order to really take care of the transportation system and reduce emissions as much as possible, getting a routine inspection would make all the difference in reducing carbon dioxide levels, which leads back to more issues with our environment. Regular checkups can reduce fuel consumption and emissions by up to 10%. In fact, if all vehicles in an area receive a yearly tune-up, it could lessen greenhouse gases enough for us to avoid some severe consequences.